You know that feeling when everything just clicks? It's not like the whole world suddenly changes, but something deep inside you does. It's like you've been asleep at the wheel of your own life, and all of a sudden, you're awake. So that's what we're diving into today. This powerful idea of how to shut off the autopilot and truly start living. So let's just start with a really honest question. Are you? It's so easy to fall into that rhythm, isn't it? You wake up, you go through the motions, you follow the same script day in and day out without even thinking about it. But is that really living? Or is it just existing? You can really think of it in two totally different ways. On one hand, you've got life on autopilot. It's kind of like living in black and white. You're there, but not really there. Then, on the other hand, you have that awakened moment. It's a flash of brilliant color, of true awareness. And the idea here is that just one of those moments, well, it's worth more than years spent in the gray fog. Okay, let's break this down. In our first section, we're going to get right into this whole asleep versus awake thing, and just how much power is packed into a single conscious moment. And really, it all boils down to this. Just one single moment where you are fully present. It's not about the quantity of years you live, it's about the quality of the moments you're actually awake for. Suddenly, a boring drive to work becomes a chance to really see the sky. That's the kind of power we're talking about. But here's the thing. How do we actually find these moments? Well, they rarely show up when life is easy and perfect. In fact, it's usually the exact opposite. Life has this funny and sometimes painful way of forcing our eyes open. And we all know this to be true even if we don't like to think about it. Life is messy, and sometimes things just break. And isn't it strange how it's often our best laid plans, the ones we've so carefully built up, that job, that relationship, the future you had all mapped out, suddenly it can all just collapse. Of course, when that happens, it feels awful. It feels totally unfair. It's so easy to feel like life is just happening to you. But what if there's something else going on? And this is the big twist. That breakdown, it's actually a breakthrough in disguise. It's not a punishment. It's a wake-up call. It's life grabbing you by the shoulders and giving you a good shake, saying, hey, pay attention. And here's what that shakeup actually accomplishes. It forces us to stop skimming the surface of our own lives. We have to look deeper. We have to start asking those big, scary questions like, who am I, really? It strips away all the noise and helps us reconnect with what actually matters. So, you've had the wake-up call. Great. But now what? This brings us to this huge obstacle that so many of us face. It's that feeling of being totally stuck. It's the paralysis of indecision. Oh man, does this look familiar. Your brain just starts spinning in this endless loop. Should I do this? Or maybe that? What if I take this job? But what if I miss out on that one? We get so obsessed with making the perfect choice that we end up making no choice at all. And the cost of that fear is just devastating. We can waste years of our lives just thinking, just analyzing, waiting for this perfect clarity that, let's be honest, is never going to come. And all the while, life is just passing us by. So what's the way out? How do you break free from that paralysis? Well, this next section has the antidote, and it's simpler than you think. You just have to start walking. This is it. This is the key. You cannot think your way into a new life. Clarity isn't something you find by sitting on your couch and meditating for hours. It's a byproduct of action. It's something you discover through experience. And the process itself, it's not some big mystery. It's this simple. 1, you try something. Anything. 2, you see what happens. You learn from it. 3, you adjust your course based on what you just learned. And 4, you try again. That's it. It's this powerful cycle of doing and learning. This totally reframes everything, doesn't it? We're so terrified of failing. But what if failure isn't the enemy? What if it's actually a required ingredient? Every so-called mistake is just feedback. It's valuable data that's guiding you closer to where you need to be. And the grand prize you get from all this trying and learning and, yes, failing, it's self-knowledge. And let me tell you, that is a superpower. When you truly know what energizes you, what drains you, and what you really value, you stop playing by everyone else's rules and you start navigating by your own internal compass. Because when it comes right down to it, that's the truth. This is your life. Not your parents' life, not your boss's life, not what you think you're supposed to be doing. It's yours. And taking ownership of that, well, it's a huge responsibility, but it is also the greatest freedom imaginable. So, what's the payoff for all this work? What happens when you finally combine that awareness with real action? You find a life that might not be easier, but it's simpler, and it is so much fuller. When you stop chasing all the distractions, you start noticing the beauty that was there all along. That first sip of coffee in the morning, a real conversation with a friend, the sun on your face. These tiny things become huge again. And gratitude, presence, purpose, they just start showing up again. And if you take away only one thing, let it be this. Having that wake-up call, becoming aware, that's just step one. Awareness on its own doesn't do anything. It's when you pair awareness with action that the magic happens. One changes nothing. The other changes absolutely everything. You know, at the end of the day, the goal isn't to live some perfect Instagrammable life that somebody else designed. The most radical, the most courageous, the most extraordinary thing any of us can ever do is to show up and live our own unique, messy, beautiful life. So the final takeaway is this: stop waiting. The perfect moment isn't coming later. It's not after you get the new job or after you retire or after you finally figure everything out. The moment is now. Your life is happening right now. The only real question left is, are you awake for it?